Good morning. Good morning. Sorry I was not here yesterday. I did not place in that contest I was telling you about on Monday, and I'm in the process of licking my wounds. So I will give you part two for my professional goals next week. But even though I have a thick skin, get a lot of rejections, um, it still hurts, man. It hurts that someone didn't see my vision, but that's okay. That's okay. Someone will. Anyway, so I was contemplating what to talk about today, and I came across a Facebook memory of this ridiculous Halloween costume and thought I would share all of my, well, not all, because I can't think of some of them but the Halloween costumes in the past that I have had, maybe give you some ideas for Halloween. Although this Halloween is a little weird, but maybe it'll get you in the spirit to prepare for next year if you want to do that. I don't know. But yes, the picture that I came across was a Halloween where I dressed up as a sexy Orville Redenbacher. Like the popcorn man. But anyway, because I was making fun of how girls always do like something sexy, right? Like sexy nurse, sexy schoolgirl, sexy, I don't know, cop. Um, like those are all of the Halloween costumes that are available whenever you go to one of those Halloween stores, and it's just annoying and I get tired of it. Like, can I, like, you can be sexy without a super short skirt. I know it's crazy, but you can. You can be sexy with like a long Cleopatra toga robe. I know it's crazy, but you can. So I just wish there were more costumes available that were like work appropriate and um, I don't know. I just feel like I don't need to. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to showing skin, right? I should have brushed my hair before I got on here because it looks crazy. I'm not opposed to showing skin, but it's just like I would like something more work appropriate sometimes. I would like something. I just don't feel like you have to show your skin all the time, right? Anyway, so I was sexy Orville Redenbacher, the popcorn guy. One Halloween. Another Halloween, it reminded me of the time I was Hedwig from Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I had this denim dress and this like crazy wig. Where did I even get that wig? Oh my gosh. So I was Hedwig from Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Very funny movie, but also deep and like thoughtful. It's a musical now. The Barney from How I Met Your Mother. What's his name? Totally escaped me. I can't even think of his name right now. But he played and starred in the Broadway Hedwig. But if you get a chance, rent the movie, watch the movie. It's it's interesting and very thoughtful, like I said. So I really loved that movie, but I did look ridiculous that Halloween too. Okay, so the most memorable Halloween costume was when I was a little girl and I was a bumblebee. And I know that's like a typical Halloween costume, but my parents, like, they talk about it all the time. And we still have pictures from that moment. It was a very, like, memorable Halloween for me. I went trick or treating with my friend Adam. He was Oscar the Grouch. Very cute. But I looked like the girl from the Blind Melon video, No Rain. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh ooh ooh. Yes. So I had those vibes as a child, if you could believe it. Little Miss Sunshine vibes. That was me as a little girl. Very cute. And in adulthood, I tried to be this queen bee. And I was like, I'm going to be a bee for every Halloween from now on and just a different version of a bee. But my roommate threw a Halloween party and none of my friends showed. So I didn't feel like a queen bee. So I decided to discard that idea. And I don't even know what I was thinking about being a bee for every Halloween because, like, I'm so unpredictable, spontaneous at times that, like, why did I think I was going to do that every year? Dumb. I've also been the typical witch, cat, vampire, but I do want to say there was one year I went as a cat. It was in elementary school. And I piggybacked a costume that I had to do for an oral book report. Still one of my favorite books to this day, and I can't even remember the dang name of it. But I loved it. It was like, it was about a cat, and there was some sort of like filigree box, Pandora's box or something. But yeah, one of my favorite stories, one of my favorite books. Can't even remember what the name is now, but I did a report on that, and my cat costume was like Cats the Musical level. Like, it was on points. We put a lot of work in that, and I want to say it was like a contest, and I like placed pretty high up, maybe even got first. I don't even remember. But we put a lot of work into it. I gave a phenomenal presentation. I was very sassy, very clever, gave all the information about the book, so it was a hit. So I piggybacked off that book report and reused it for my Halloween costume. So that was a memorable cat costume. Like, it wasn't just like, I have cat ears and a cat tail. Like, it was like fur and whiskers and all of that. Ooh, Pippi Longstocking. Pippi Longstocking was one. We had to put wires. Like, we braided my hair in the pigtails, right? And we put wires in my hair so that the pigtails went like crazy outside. I was obsessed with Pippi Longstocking around that time. Okay, what else? So one year, and these are out of order, by the way. One year I went as a succubus, and I did a good job on that. I had my horns. It's like a succubus is like a sex demon that like comes into your room at night and has sex with you in your dreams. I'll do it. But yeah, I had horns, like really realistic horns, and the wiggle dress I was wearing, so sexy. Makeup was on point. That was a good year. I tried to recycle that costume and go as the Devil's Bride a few years after that, and it wasn't as good, y'all. Just keeping it real. Some years are good, some years are bad. What can I say? One year I went as a unicorn. This was more for an office party and this was pretty recent. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Because I was trying to find a costume around Hollywood, and they were all like stripper costumes. I wanted to go as a ladybug because I have ladybug wings. But I couldn't find like a dress or some sort of red polka dot ensemble, right? So I got this unicorn head. I didn't go full unicorn, just half unicorn. So I had this unicorn head. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Not exciting, but unicorns are fun. One year I went as a gypsy. I am aware of the appropriation, and I apologize. I was not aware of the appropriation at the time, but I am aware now, so I apologize for going as that. I was reading tarot for my coworkers at a corporate Halloween party. They had hired me to do tarot, and that was a lot of fun. They set me up in this room, so I was like, it was an area. We had 3 different sections of like themes that we decorated. I was on the party planning committee. I can plan a party. I just need people to help me execute it. So when I try to do it all by myself, I get stressed. Things crap out. It doesn't happen. So I need a partner in crime to plan parties, but I can really get it popping. But anyway, we had 3 different sections. We had a like haunted hospital, zombie hospital. What was in the front? forgot what the front was decorated as, but the middle section was like a freak show, circus, haunted circus, evil circus, clowns type of thing, right? So, of course, like, I was a fortune teller. Gypsy, fortune teller, whatever you want to say. And they put me in this special room. It was all like fortune teller-ified, and really like bonded with coworkers that year. And it gives me experience to say, like, I can be a tarot reader at your corporate event, at your family reunion, at your whatever big event you have. So hit me up if you would like to. If you're in the LA area and you would like me to read your tarot at some sort of party. Or Oklahoma too, because sometimes I fly back home. And I would be happy to, you know, help you with that. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, but I do want to say about the gypsy. One thing that I am proud of myself for doing, it looked super cute. I had the headscarf that you would normally have, but I took this, I got like a cheap mask, and I cut out this eyeball and I stuck it in the middle of my head, so it was like a third eye. It was cute. I did a good job. Okay, so the next costume that I remembered was a voodoo doll. Hold on one sec. And this was a funny Halloween. First of all, I was a voodoo doll and I got burlap. Kind of a mistake. I would get different fabric next time that looks like burlap but isn't burlap, because burlap is itchy as hell. It was uncomfortable. It was scratchy. So it just like, it was not good for my skin. Irritated my skin. But this was a funny Halloween because me and my friend Sarah, we got all dressed up and we looked good, right? And so we got to my car and I couldn't find my keys. And then we got caught in this like avalanche flood where like it like rained like so hard on us. And it was crazy because it never rains in LA, like at least as much as that. And especially like we were going through a drought at that time, and I had just moved to LA. So it was like I brought the rain from Oklahoma with me. And it was, so we got all like messed up from the rain. And we were, we were like on the like streets of Hollywood, like little like wet rats, you know. But so we went back to Sarah's house and fell asleep because I couldn't find my keys. And then, did we? Yeah. And then it turns out, this is so silly. It turns out the keys were on top of this like electrical box that we had just sort of stuck there to take selfies. I know, guys. I know. I forgot that I put it on top of the box. Anyway, I still remember that Halloween as we didn't get to go to the party we wanted, but it was a memorable one and a funny story. One year I was Cyndi Lauper only because I choreographed a bean dinner. Orchestra had bean dinners every year. I played stand-up bass in the orchestra, and we had bean dinners every year to raise money for the program. And I am a good choreographer, guys. I was in dance for a long time. I feel like I should have stuck with dance to choreograph. Like, I had my mindset on, like, dancer was the only, like, end goal, to be in dance. But it's not. I was never going to be a professional dancer. I don't have the body for it. I, can dance. I do have rhythm, but I don't have the, like, physical intelligence that an athlete has. You know what I mean? Like, I love to keep active. I'll still love to dance. Anytime you want to dance, I'm down for dancing. But just like the specific body for being a professional dancer. That was never going to be me. And yeah, I have other things in life. But if you ever need me to choreograph something, I'm a good choreographer. I am. And I would love to, I have mentioned before that I produce music videos. So the next music video project I want to do after I wrap up this video that has been overdue for so long. After I wrap that up, I do want to work on a music video that has choreography in it. I want to choreograph, and I want it to be dancey and fun. So if you know someone, or if you are a musician who has a song that's dancey and fun and would like to choreograph to it, let's talk and we can work on that. Hopefully it takes sooner to turn around than this last video project. Anyway, okay, so I was Cyndi Lauper in the Bean Dinner. I choreographed the Bean Dinner, and it was Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I was cute as can be. So after that, we trick-or-treated as like a 16-year-old. But it was fun. I trick-or-treated with my friends, and I wouldn't have gone as Cyndi Lauper if we hadn't had the Bean Dinner, because it was like specifically for that song. Next up, I was a lion tamer ringleader one year for like circusy, for like mystical circus. That was a like sexy ringleader, sexy lion tamer, and I did a good job on that one. I got to say, pat on the back. Looked fly. My hair, because I wanted to mimic like a lion, so my hair was like big, poofy, curly, right? And I had a little top hat. I was very cute. I was very, very cute. 1 year in elementary school, I went as a remote control. I think my mom went as a remote control like earlier than I did, and I was like, well, I guess this year I can go as a remote control like my mom. So we took a like refrigerator box, TV box, something like that, and made our own costume. Remember back in the day, kids? Kids! In my day, we used to make our own costumes, and there was a lot of fun in that. And I kind of wish we would bring more of that back instead of just like going out to Walmart and buying a costume. First things first, don't shop at Walmart, they're a trash store. But going to some sort of like Walgreens or whatever and buying a costume. Make your own, it's fun. You use your creativity. Yeah. Speaking of making your own costume and creativity, this is the last costume I can remember. I know I have worn other costumes, but these are the only ones I could find. Another costume that I put together craftastically was I was Sylvia Plath one year, and I took a box and turned it into an easy bake oven on my head. I know that's a little insensitive. If you don't know, Sylvia Plath is a poet, writer. She wrote The Bell Jar, and she was she had depression, like severe depression, and she talked about it in an age where you didn't talk about it, especially if you were a woman. And she ended up killing herself by laying her head in an oven. I laugh, but very tragic, right? So I dressed up as Sylvia Plath for Lit Club. I was in Lit Club. I was an English major. Lit Club was doing this like special Halloween party where we dressed up as authors or characters in books. Natalie, I still remember your Hemingway to this day. It was so cute. But yes, I went as Sylvia Plath. I had an easy bake oven on my head that I made myself. A little insensitive, but kind of funny too, right? Sorry. I was a college kid, okay? I was a college kid, so I was insensitive, but it is clever, but insensitive. So those are the Halloween costumes that I can remember. Maybe it gave you some ideas. Like I said, this Halloween is a little weird, so maybe it can give you some ideas next Halloween. But I don't think I will be dressing up this Halloween. It's not that I'm not in the spirit. It's just like, who's going to see it? Where am I going to go? Yeah. So I have been celebrating in different ways by binging Buffy the Vampire Slayer, by doing that 31 Nights of Halloween, which I stopped. I did. I stopped. Uh, and like this Halloween, I usually do more, like watch more horror movies, but because we're living in times that are so like the purge already for my mental health, I need something very like light and childlike, and I can't go like deep and dark into horror at this moment. So yeah, I am keeping it light this year. And I don't expect to have trick or treaters or anything because of COVID-19. But yes, those were my Halloween costumes of the past, and I will see you next time. I love you. Goodbye.